Conor McGregor is a name that resonates across the world of sports. Known for his brash personality, lightning-fast knockouts, and unparalleled self-belief, McGregor has carved a legacy in mixed martial arts that few can rival. But beneath the bright lights and multi-million-dollar fight purses lies a story of immense struggle, sacrifice, and redemption. His journey from the streets of Dublin to the pinnacle of combat sports is one riddled with adversity, self-doubt, and setbacks that tested the very core of his being. Born in Crumlin, Dublin, Ireland, McGregor grew up in a working-class neighbourhood where opportunities were scarce. His father worked as a taxi driver, while his mother took care of the household. From a young age, McGregor displayed an interest in sports, particularly soccer, but it was his introduction to boxing that would shape his future. As a teenager, McGregor trained at Crumlin Boxing Club, where he honed his striking skills. However, his early years were far from glamorous. The streets of Dublin were tough, and McGregor often found himself in fights outside the gym. Financial struggles plagued his family, and his dreams of becoming a professional fighter seemed far-fetched. Yet, even in those bleak moments, he harbored an unshakable belief that he was destined for greatness. Like many young men in Ireland, McGregor was expected to pursue a trade. At 17, he became an apprentice plumber, a job that paid little and demanded long hours. The thought of spending his life fixing pipes and unclogging drains filled him with dread. His true passion was fighting, and every spare moment was spent training in mixed martial arts. The long hours and back-breaking labor left him exhausted, but he refused to let go of his dream. His family, particularly his father, urged him to focus on securing a stable future, but McGregor was convinced that his destiny lay in the octagon. At 18, he made a bold decision. He quit plumbing to pursue MMA full-time. It was a gamble that would leave him financially vulnerable, but one that would ultimately define his legacy. McGregor's early MMA career was anything but smooth. He made his professional debut in 2008, securing a victory, but the road ahead was filled with obstacles. Training was grueling, money was scarce, and doubts crept in. He suffered his first professional loss in 2010 against Joe Duffy, a devastating defeat that shook his confidence. At times, he struggled to afford food and gym fees. His longtime girlfriend, Dee Devlin, became his pillar of support, often covering their expenses when McGregor couldn't. There were nights he went to bed hungry, questioning whether he had made the right choice. Friends and family members, though supportive, worried about his future. In 2013, McGregor was on the verge of quitting the sport entirely. Unemployed and living on social welfare, he had reached a breaking point. It was during this period of despair that he received a call that would change his life forever. He had been signed by the UFC. McGregor's UFC debut in April 2013 was spectacular. He knocked out Marcus Brimage in the first round, announcing his arrival in emphatic fashion. With each fight, his confidence grew, and so did his fame. His trash talk, flamboyant persona, and knockout power made him an instant fan favorite. He rapidly climbed the featherweight ranks, and by 2015, he was set to face the reigning champion, Jose Aldo. The fight against Aldo lasted a mere 13 seconds. McGregor's left hand connected flush, and Aldo crumbled to the canvas. In that moment, he had become the undisputed UFC featherweight champion. His meteoric rise continued when he moved up to lightweight and defeated Eddie Alvarez, becoming the first fighter in UFC history to hold two belts simultaneously. But with fame and fortune came distractions. McGregor's extravagant lifestyle, fueled by multi-million-dollar paydays, began to take a toll. He engaged in public altercations, feuded with fellow fighters, and found himself in legal trouble. His confidence morphed into arrogance, and his discipline wavered. In 2017, McGregor made an unprecedented move. He stepped into the boxing ring to fight Floyd Mayweather. The bout, dubbed the money fight, generated immense hype, but many viewed it as a cash grab. Though McGregor held his own in the early rounds, Mayweather's experience prevailed, and McGregor lost via TKO in the 10th round. Despite the loss, McGregor earned a reported $100 million, securing financial freedom. But the windfall led to further distractions. He became embroiled in multiple controversies, including an infamous incident in 2018 where he threw a dolly at a bus carrying UFC fighters. Legal troubles mounted, and his fighting career took a backseat. In 2018, McGregor returned to the UFC to face undefeated lightweight champion Khabib Nurmagomedov. The build-up was marred by bad blood, personal insults, and an intense rivalry. The fight itself was one-sided. Khabib dominated McGregor before submitting him in the 4th round. The aftermath was even more chaotic, as a brawl erupted between both camps. McGregor's aura of invincibility had been shattered. He took time away from the sport, but his legal troubles continued. Assault allegations, bar fights, and reckless behavior painted a picture of a man spiraling out of control. Fans and analysts wondered if he would ever return to his former glory. In 2020, McGregor returned with a statement win against Donald "Cowboy" Cerrone, finishing him in 40 seconds. However, the victory was short-lived. In 2021, he faced Dustin Poirier in a rematch and suffered a brutal knockout defeat. A trilogy bout followed later that year, but disaster struck. McGregor suffered a horrific leg break, leaving him sidelined indefinitely. The injury forced him to undergo extensive surgery and rehabilitation. For the first time, his body had failed him, and doubts about his future loomed large. Could he ever return to the octagon at full capacity? Would he ever reclaim the form that made him a superstar? The road to recovery was arduous. McGregor spent months in rehabilitation, enduring pain and frustration as he worked to regain strength in his leg. During this period, he reflected on his career, acknowledging both his triumphs and missteps. He expressed a renewed sense of purpose, vowing to make a comeback and silence his critics. However, his return to fighting remained uncertain, and speculation grew about whether he could still compete at an elite level. Beyond the octagon, McGregor sought to rebuild his public image. He invested in businesses, including his whiskey brand, Proper No. 12, and focused on philanthropy. He donated to hospitals, supported charities, and attempted to show a more disciplined and mature side. Yet, controversy continued to follow him, with sporadic altercations and legal issues surfacing from time to time. Despite this, McGregor remained adamant that he would return to fighting and prove that he was far from finished. As 2024 approached, rumors of McGregor's return intensified. He resumed training, sharing glimpses of his progress on social media. While his physical capabilities were still in question, his determination was undeniable. Whether he reclaims championship gold or not, McGregor's journey stands as a testament to perseverance, resilience, and an unbreakable spirit. His struggles have defined him as much as his triumphs, shaping the fighter and man he is today. The world eagerly awaits his next move, knowing that with Conor McGregor, anything is possible.